I'm quite excited for today. And reason being is I have my very gorgeous friend, Meaghan, in studio today. Hi, Meg.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing fragile, to be very honest. I feel like I'm having an out-of-body experience because last night I was just out with you and it was something to kind of like gather all the pieces and figure out what has happened. So that's currently what I'm doing.
Oh, yeah, like brown out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally.
Is that why you wore brown?
Today?
Is it a metaphor?
Yeah, just in case I shot myself as well, because I feel like it's coming out of both ends. So it just matches, color coordinated, everything.
Oh, well, it shows.
But I'm quite excited to have you. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I feel much better than I thought I was going to feel.
Yeah.
So that anytime that happens is a real win.
I'm glad. I just want you to have like an amazing experience. And there's actually something I really wanted to get into today was to discuss weddings. And the reason why, because I haven't spoken to you really much since your wedding recently. Mm-hmm. And you just currently have this fresh information. I mean, me and Zachary are planning to get married next year sometime, but obviously, you know, me and ADHD and trying to control everything, there's no dates. But I wanted to ask you, like, when you think about your wedding or weddings in general, is it something that you've always like dreamt of as a little girl to have? Tell me your thought process.
Yeah, I feel like weddings are a very interesting thing because it means something completely different to everyone. Mm-hmm. And you don't really realize what it means to you until you're going through it. Because it really is, it's more than planning an event. It's planning the next stage of your life.
That's
and
insane.
people say, you know, it sets the tone. That's kind of BS. I don't really think it is. Like, I don't think Zach's going to be wearing the tuxedo for the rest of his life. Like, that's not really the tone we're looking for.
Yeah.
But it's just more about like the love that you really put into it. The entire process is terrible. It is awful. It is so hard. You upset
Finally.
so many people while you do it. You upset yourself so many times, but it's worth it. Like getting up the next day and my husband, Zach, and I looking at each other and saying, that was worth it. We would do it all again. It was exactly perfect, was priceless.
I think a lot of the people, when you focus about weddings, people always talk about that moment when they're standing up there. But like you said, you forgot the lead up to the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's tragic.
It
I'm
is.
scared of that. I'm actually quite nervous, but I feel like that's the realist is you actually talking about it. Prior to actually going out there, standing at the altar and you this whole lead up, is there things that you would actually do different or what's like crazy experiences that you wish you could do differently?
Yes, I would hire a wedding planner.
Really? From the get-go?
Yeah, that was a mistake. That put Zach and I in a lot of tough positions. We got married on Long Island and we live in the city. So we had to go out there every weekend, trying to check different places out.
And we know you need a passport at this point to get to Long Island and at least 4 hours going and 4 hours coming back.
Yeah, and I'm always hungry when I get out there. So I always got to get a snack. Husband's probably was ready to kill me multiple times. I dragged him to 14 wedding venues
14?
to look at. Newsflash, they're all the same. There was no reason to go
To
to
do
14. There was no reason. No.
Okay, I love that. No, I
Yeah.
don't love that you did 14, but I love that
Me
you can
either.
actually say been to one, sample it all. It's the same thing.
Yeah, I think if you look at one of each vibe,
Yeah.
then you kind of know.
Yeah.
You don't need to go in, like a ballroom is a ballroom, a beach is a beach. Just find something you like and go with it. Don't torture yourself. It's kind of like looking for apartments. You find one that works, don't keep looking because the grass is not always greener. You're uncovering something you can't really customize anyway, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. And when you're looking at these venues, was there something like astronomically dreaming that you really wanted? Like if I'm thinking about Long Island weddings, I'm actually focusing a lot on vineyards, perhaps, you know? Pardon me, I always have this thing in my throat. It's not
Are
what we
you
always
choking
wanted.
on your words?
I'm choking on my mic. How's about that? Yes, you got me weak at my knees.
Thank you.
But was there something, when you look at the Long Island, what was the thing that you were actually looking for at these destinations?
Yeah, well, I think the first part to understand is we got married in a church. So
That's
that
what you
was,
wanted.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So we got married in the church that my parents got married in and my aunts and uncles. And it was the church where, you know, I made a couple of my sacraments as well. So that was really special for Zach and I to be able to do that. So I think having our ceremony there already was a big check mark for us. So when we were focusing on the more reception portion, which I think is where everyone kind of pours all of their energy into, we wanted it to be a party. We didn't want people to come in and really have to do formalities. I didn't throw my bouquet. We weren't doing that weird garter thing, which maybe some people like. I don't really feel like Zach needs to go out in my wedding dress in front of my family. I feel like we're good without.
Yeah, I'll be thinking the exact same issue.
Yeah, it's a little much for me. But I think we were really just looking for, a great bar, a great place where we could have, a fun DJ. We didn't want it to feel exclusive for any reason. We wanted everyone to come and knew that they belonged and feel happy that they were there for us too.
That's amazing. I think I would definitely relate. A lot of people love the extreme formalities. But like you're talking about when it comes to the reception type of thing, you wanted the party.
Yeah.
And that was so important. Talking about the whole going up your dress. Girl, in what world? Because now I have to shave for this. You're asking a lot at this point. Like,
well,
you're going to get a hairy leg.
That. I mean, this is kind of like...
what he's going to feel.
Yeah.
The razor cuts on my legs. I'm like, yeah, you better enjoy every moment. You said you never did a whole bouquet throw? You did?
I never did.
I never knew that.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling it. I feel like it's strange to single people out and say...
Single people out.
Yeah, double single.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need that. I feel like that's not what you're there for. You're not there to put people on the spot. Like, it's all about you and how much you love each other at the end of the day.
That's
like,
true.
You don't really need to stop the party to do a formality, just to kind of, a lot of it's for a picture. We didn't even cut our cake during the reception. We did it before. And we cut it, and then they kind of like iced over the top so that no one could see where we cut it, just to do the picture. And then we were done because we were so serious about not being pulled from spending time with our family and friends that came to celebrate with us.
Yes, because a lot of the time, when you're at the weddings, it's like, yes, you have the whole ceremony, the I do's, and then people piss off. Like, where's the couple at? Because you guys disappear for at least 2 hours, taking these photos. Meanwhile, everybody wants to celebrate you. You're so right.
Yeah.
And I think that's the very traditional way of doing things. And when we're looking at weddings and stuff, we actually realize you get to do what the hell you want. And it's becoming more of the norm with these types of things. I love that you also have that very traditional, that you still wanted to go to the church, and that's really beautiful. I never knew that.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm learning more now, being in this position where we're sitting right now, than what I would normally at a bar with you, by the way. When you think of, because I'm actually watching this new thing on Netflix, and have you seen it? It's called this documentary about two fires or twin fires.
No.
Do you even know what twin fires are?
No.
No. Yeah, neither did I. Twin flames.
To be fair, so I don't have Netflix currently because we were using my father-in-law's, and then with the whole switch where they try to kick you out, and I am just, I can't do it. I need to get into it and just pay for Netflix.
I don't know,
But I
girl.
haven't my whole life, and I feel like I shouldn't have to.
Wait, I can literally give you mine.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah, because I was clever. I actually got mine in South Africa, and then they don't follow those rules and regulations. So
will they
is very
now that
valuable.
you brought it up?
No, that will Netflix. Don't come for me.
Or do. It's kind of
or
be fun.
do, but just give me like a mad subscription. But anyway, it's called Twin Flames, and I never even knew what the word means, twin flames. And basically, it is when two people were destined to be together. Mm-hmm. So we would refer to that as like a soulmate, perhaps, sure. But there's such a light burning fire that you cannot see yourself with any other person, maybe even to the point of I'm addicted to you, like obsessed. And this whole documentary goes over like people really believing their true soulmate is there and them searching. It's actually cultish, but that's not what I was point getting to it. When you think of the ideal, I mean, I don't think you ever kind of, or maybe you did. Did you ever like envision who your husband would be? Like,
Ooh.
you know, did you?
Yeah, well, once Nick Jonas was taken, I really had to
Oh
pivot.
my God. I was cut down when he had his whole little quiff in front of his head. That was everything.
Yeah, no, it was so good then. But then, so I did have to pivot and I had to come down to reality for a little bit. And I feel like now that I know who my husband is and I know who my soulmate is, it's hard to speak to that idea because my brain is so filled with everything that he does to make our relationship and make me feel special and make himself feel special as well. Like, he's just such a great guy that when I met him, it actually freaked me out. I pulled away. I was like, this can't be real. Someone's a little too nice here. I don't know. Seems a little strange to me. But he said he would do whatever it took to be with me. He'd wait for me. He'd let me do my own thing. And that's all you can ever ask for in a partner, is to let you be you. So I think now my definition of a soulmate is a little different because it's someone you grow with. Oh, you like that
on the
one?
head.
Okay.
I did, because that's what I wanted to say. I really feel it's, when I think about my Zachary, I love that we both have two Zacharys in our lives.
We know how to pick them.
We know how to pick them. It starts with a Z. There's no way. I think of my Zachary, it's like, and I'm being genuine, this is my perspective of things. I lost all faith or whatever on a soulmate or your twin flame type of ideology.
Mm-hmm.
I got to that point the longer I was in my relationship with Zachary. And that's what you kind of highlighted too.
Yeah.
Yes, you had the feels, the oodles, the boodles in the beginning, but what you have gone through, and like you said, he was willing to wait and be there through and do everything he could to be with you.
Yeah.
The development part of things is how I view when I started to say, my Zachary is my soulmate. Do you feel the same? Or
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I do feel the same. I think that now when you look back on like your relationship and when you first met Zach or when I first met my Zach, everything is kind of out of convenience, right? Like that's how you start dating. You're like, oh, I like this person. I'm attracted to them. They seem nice. We'll keep going out and kind of see how it goes. But then I think the more time you spend together and the more you go through together bonds you closer to what you were saying. Like it kind of drew you closer in general and made that soulmate feeling kind of build up inside you again.
And now you think about it, you're like, I can't even think about anybody else. But if I could go back, this would be the ideal husband for me.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm so happy about. It's just the fact that I look at you and Zachary and I see love, genuine, but I see realness. And I think authenticity is very good because people in public are like, we just act this way as a certain couple. You don't even realize it. And you guys are just so chill.
It's taken a long time.
Yeah.
I dated a lot of really not great people before I met Zach.
Yeah.
And when we first got together, I think this is another reason that I love him so much is he called me out on my bullshit. It was like, we're not doing this. You can't, you can't do these things. You can't, just go off the rails once in a while. Like everyone's like allowed to have a minute where you feel emotional and you have these things, but some more often than not.
Yeah, I was like, listen, how long is this minute exactly? Because mine carries on for days, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah, but he's such a great communicator and said like, you can't hold all these feelings in and then emotionally throw up on me once a year and I'm trying to figure out what the heck happened. But I'm bringing up that he didn't put his socks away 6 months ago and I'm still annoyed by it. Like, you have to talk about those things. And that's one of those things I know my mom has said about our relationship too. She's like, I just love that you guys can take something back, talk about it, and then just come to a common ground. There's no fighting. There's no yelling. Like we are just very relaxed when it comes to each other because we really are best friends. It's just, it gets that much easier the more you know each other and the more you're willing to fight for what you have and protect that peace.
I feel very biblical on this Sunday, thanks to you. I really feel like, no, genuine. That is so beautifully said. And that takes someone that's gone through that and experienced that to actually verbally talk the way that you're doing right now. Genuinely. Because I can read a book and say the same thing, but you are actually feeling it, you're living through it. And, when it comes to Zachary, your Zachary.
Zach with an H.
Zach with an H. Oh my gosh, so true. Wait. Mine's also with an H.
But when you spell Zach, it has
true.
with the K.
When you think about like Zachary, do you really relate to the thing that you're falling? Because people said you fall in love more and more every single day. And I never thought I could, but I really do. And do you feel the same when you think about your Zachary? Or is it something that you had and you are feeling, but every day gets deeper? Or no, it's just there?
I think it depends on what's going on at the time. Like I think there are days where we have great days. I think there are days where you have some days that, aren't so great.
I don't like you now, but I love you. But I don't like you right now.
Exactly. Yeah. It's always important to like each other more than you love each other. Someone actually put that in a wedding card for us, and I've been putting it in every wedding card that I've signed since.
What did it say again?
Always make sure you like each other more than you love each other. So that you're willing to, put up with more essentially, or willing to be better friends and you're willing to take a step back and kind of look at the situation holistically. I've never thought about falling more in love with Zach every day, but I'm sure I do. I don't know if it's something that I can be conscious of and be like, oh, I love you more because of that. Because I think like once the cup is already full, you just appreciate those things.
Wow, it feels like I'm watching my own little Oprah Winfrey moment now with you.
Thank you.
Really, it's so well spoken and it is so true, when it comes to relationships and developing that. And I mean, leading back to the whole wedding thing, was there traits of your personalities that you wanted to include in it? You know, because when I think of, for example, like planning my wedding, I want aspects of my personality in it, and Zachary's too. So, I mean, we were joking about our drink of choice. Goddamn, Zachary, he wants freaking filthy martinis, dirty, filthy martinis. And I'm like, you're the only one that drinks this drink in the first place.
What are you saying about his personality then?
Well, fill in the gaps. No, he just loves a dirty martini, and I just feel like a lot of other people don't, but that's aspects of his personality.
Yeah.
You know, when you think about your wedding, do you feel like there's aspects of your personality in it, yours and Zach's?
Yeah, and I think especially with the signature drinks, like we looked at menus, Zach has a favorite type of beer that is like big, it's his college beer, it's his favorite thing.
Which is which?
And Labatt Blue Light.
Proudly sponsored. Yeah.
I wish that would be my dream. That'd be so great. Just to tell him and be like, guess what? It'd be awesome.
Yeah.
And we went to a lot of places and they said, no, you can't have that. And we were like, well, then this isn't the place for us. Like, we can't do that. I think it's strange that you won't. It's essentially like, it's a light beer, like any other thing. But if it's going to make him that much happier, we're not going to give that up.
Yeah, I just thought it's weird. A venue said they would not want that.
Yeah,
they can't cater to that.
It must have been something I said. I have no idea.
Yeah, I can imagine. You must have obviously went up there and threatened them with their lives. I'm kidding. That's totally unlike you.
Is it?
I don't know. Yeah. I haven't met that side of you yet, but I'm excited. So what about, okay, so the beer, you eventually got the beer?
We did, yeah.
Oh,
and
thank
we
goodness.
actually ran out of it that day because everyone drank so much. So I felt very justified with the amount I told them to order. And then mine was a spicy margarita.
Girl, you just know.
It's so good. And people were trying to say, like, no, don't do that. Like, not everyone likes those. I was like, well, it's not for everyone.
Wow.
Like, they can go to the bar and get whatever they want, but I want to have this.
That is so true to your personality, which I completely understand. And that's something I'm telling Zachary. I feel like I'm trying to cater for the masses.
Yeah.
And not just focus on what he wants.
Right.
Because when he says dirty martini, I mean, not a lot of people drink a dirty martini. I'm going to be honest.
Well, those people are wrong.
That's where the problem lies in this world.
Yes,
is
exactly.
You don't drink a dirty martini.
Yes, and you got to try it. No one likes things their first time. You have to try things over and over again.
You really have to force yourself.
Yes.
At the bottom of the dirty martini is where you're going to find the most enjoyment.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's when I think anything can happen.
That's where you find your soul. The bottom of a glass. I've always felt that.
No, I think it's really been lovely having you here. And it's talking like the true testament to the non-traditional wedding, the non-traditional planning of things. And there's no rules and regulations. And I think that's what I wanted to make sure we speak about, because your wedding is your own journey. And I love how things are becoming more modern. And I'm just so happy for you and Zachary. And what is future plans for you guys?
Ooh, that is a tough topic right now. We're trying to figure out essentially like every other New Yorker is, where are we going to live? Once you get married, you feel like you kind of have to move on to somewhere else or,
Crazy.
you know, or upgrade in some way.
Yeah.
But we're just kind of trying to figure out what works for us. Like, we're kind of going to explore, maybe move apartments, like maybe get a car, you never know, do something like that. But I think just enjoying each other's company and not having to plan a wedding is our little bliss right now.
If you want to make any reckless decisions, I will give you a Christmas shopping list, a personalized from one of mine that you guys can purchase anything on there.
And give it to you or keep it for myself?
Absolutely give it to me. What else would it be?
I don't know. That seems a little too selfless for me.
It really does, yeah.
I'm not sure I can do that.
No, but honestly, thank you, Meg, for coming through. And I'm really like so excited to see what your journey brings for you. And ultimately, you're an amazing person.
Oh,
genuinely.
Thank you.
Genuinely.
Back at you, buddy.
Thank you. I will collect money at the door as you exit.
Okay, good.
But thanks. I really had a great time.
Me too. Thanks for having me.
Traditional weddings 101. Let's get into it. It's more modernized now. It is where it's happening. And a testament to watching all my friends have a great time brings the most joy to me. So thanks, and see you guys for the next episode.